Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
We're gonna dip back in on the Ray Fisher situation because it seems like he's got a little backup.
Apparently, yes.
Apparently, Joss Whedon is kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, he was trending again today.
He was trending and not for the right reasons. So we're going to talk about that situation. For those of you who don't know the story, I've done a couple of videos on it. Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg in Justice League, came out against Joss Whedon last summer, said he was toxic to work with and some other people associated with it. There was a big fight between him and Warner Brothers. There was an investigation. It turned up nothing. Ray Fisher insists that Joss Whedon is toxic, said he's never working with Warner again, yada, yada, yada. Now, other videos I've done, I'm basically like, I'm not saying I don't believe him, but I got to see some proof. Like, what specifically did Joss Whedon do to you, Ray? I need to know, and that never came out, so I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. Well, now we've got some other people coming forward with some, pretty damning stories, including, people that worked on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and an ex-wife who probably has an axe to grind.
Yeah, that's true.
At this point, so we'll see. But it's definitely Joss Whedon's week to be canceled, I think. So we're going to talk a little bit about that before we get into it. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 175,000.
Woohoo!
And we thank you for that. We do talk about pop culture, talk about comics, talk about movies, whatever interests us that day. And the only reason anyone's really even talking about Joss Whedon at this point is this drama, and that his work is being obliterated by Zack Snyder.
They'll both be out there, won't they?
The original cut of Justice League will be out there, but everybody pretty much agrees, I think. A lot of people agree it wasn't a very good movie, including the people who worked on it, said it could have been much, much better. And the Snyder Cut's going to be way better. But what's interesting is we do have more people stepping forward now saying that Joss Whedon is a douchebag, including Charisma Carpenter, who worked on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She said that Joss has a history of being casually cruel. So again, I don't know if anything he did was illegal, but he sounds like he's kind of unpleasant to work for. She played Cordelia Chase on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and accused creator Joss Whedon of being abusive to her on the set of the iconic TV show, and Angel. She was on Angel 2, specifically while she was pregnant. The actor tweeted a statement on Wednesday alleging that Whedon had abused his power on numerous occasions and created a hostile and toxic work environment. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds exactly like what Ray Fisher said, except there were no details. I'm like, Ray, you want me to believe you? You gotta give us some detail. Not that he cares gives a shit what I think, but
yeah, well,
I was just
a lot of people don't give a shit what you think.
They don't.
That's okay.
But I'm just saying, like,
but I do, so that's what matters.
You do. Sometimes you do. Most of the time you do. Sometimes you tell me no, you're wrong, and I cry and I get over it.
I do tell you no, you're wrong a lot.
I am a douchebag too, so I can sympathize with Whedon here.
You're not. You're not like that. Anyway, go ahead.
I have made coworkers cry before. Not intentionally.
You made me cry before.
I have.
Sometimes intentionally.
That's going to be a hashtag. Kneon makes people cry. Anyway, she said Whedon had called her fat to her colleagues when she was 4 months pregnant and asked her if she was going to keep it, and then fired her after she gave birth. So we're going to pull up what she said.
This is what she says. Of course, we cannot confirm any of this.
Cannot confirm. But I think her NDA is up. And the reason that I think Ray Fisher is probably not going into details, he probably is still under contract. He probably can't say anything. He probably can't disparage. But now we've got more people coming forward. So again, it could be a case of Ray Fisher. Maybe he was blowing things out of proportion. But, also Joss Whedon. So we can have two truths. We can have Ray Fisher blowing things out of proportion because he was mad that he didn't get the amount of screen time he wanted in Justice League. And also Joss Whedon is a douchebag. So both things can be true. But this is what Cordelia says here. For nearly 2 decades, I held my tongue, even made excuses for certain events that traumatized me to this day. Whedon abused his power on numerous occasions while working together on the sets of Buffy and Angel. While he found his misconduct amusing, it only served to intensify my performance anxiety, disempower me, and alienate me from my peers. The disturbing incidents triggered a chronic physical condition from which I still suffer. It is with a beating heavy heart Did I say I coped in isolation and at times destructively? Last summer, when Ray Fisher publicly accused Joss of abusive and unprofessional behavior toward the cast and crew during reshoots on the Justice League set, it gutted me. Joss has a history of being casually cruel. He has created hostile and toxic work environments since his early career. I know because I experienced it firsthand. Like his ongoing passive, aggressive threats to fire me, which wreaks havoc on a young actor's self-esteem, and callously calling me fat to colleagues when I was 4 months pregnant, weighing 126 pounds. He was mean and biting, disparaging about others openly, and often played favorites, pitting people against one another to compete and vie for his attention and approval. And feet pics.
And if this is true, he is a dick. Anyway, so.
He does sound unpleasant. He called me in for a sit-down meeting to interrogate and berate me regarding a rosary tattoo I got to help me feel more spiritually grounded in an increasingly volatile work climate that affected me physically. Joss intentionally, but see, at least she's giving specific examples.
Yeah.
Ray did not give specific examples. Joss intentionally refused multiple calls from my agents, making it impossible to connect with him to tell him the news that I was pregnant. Finally, once Joss was apprised of the situation, he requested a meeting with me. In that closed-door meeting, he asked me if I was going to keep it and weaponized my womanhood and faith against me.
Okay, it's a little weird wording, but okay.
Yeah, he proceeded to attack my character, mock my religious beliefs, accuse me of sabotaging the show, and then unceremoniously fired me the following season once I gave birth. 6 months pregnant, I was asked to report to work at 1 o'clock in the morning after my doctor recommended shortening my work hours, etc. She started having contractions.
Braxton Hicks, yeah.
Braxton Hicks. Back then, I felt powerless and alone. With no other option, I swallowed the mistreatment and carried on. After all, I had a baby on the way, and I was a primary breadwinner of my growing family. Unfortunately, all this was happening during one of the most wonderful times in new motherhood. All the promise and joy sucked right out of me, and Joss was the vampire.
Yeah.
He was the vampire.
I like how she used that wording.
Yeah, so she goes on to say that, hey, he just wasn't very nice. Now, here she says, I participated in Warner Media's Justice League investigation because I believe Ray to be a person of integrity who was telling the truth. His firing as Cyborg in The Flash was the last straw for me. He did get fired because he told them, I'm not going to work with you anymore. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, fine, we're not working with you. So there we go. Although I'm not shocked, I'm deeply pained by it. It troubles me and saddens me that in 2021, professionals still have to choose between whistleblowing in the workplace and job security.
Yeah, that happens everywhere.
Every job. So there we go. So that is one. That is Charisma Carpenter. And we also have, now we have...
that was from a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. This was a couple of years ago. Yeah. Was it an ex-wife?
Yeah.
Ex-wife came out. Joss Whedon is a hypocrite preaching feminist ideals.
Basically, he was cheating on her the whole time and then lying to her about it and stuff like that.
Yeah, so this has been, his cancellation has been years in the making. Again, I can't say I wasn't there. I thought Ray Fisher was going pretty hard in the paint against him and against Warner Media. And I was like, dude, your career is effectively over. You can't tell the president of Warner Media to go fuck himself.
Yeah, but I think I remember saying too, though, I don't know why he would risk that all if it wasn't, you know what I mean? I thought it was weird that he would go that far and keep pushing it that much if it wasn't true. That's the other side. I remember saying that to you before too. So I mean, we aren't there, so we don't know what to believe.
I don't know, but I think it's Joss Whedon is going to get canceled. He's already lost a show on HBO Max, I guess, before it even started filming. And we have more and more people coming out now against him. Regardless of what went down, if the guy just has a really whacked sense of humor, I think he's effectively gonna get canceled.
I don't know, but I mean, at the end of the day, just don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
That applies to women too. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Yeah, women can be dicks too.
That's right.
Don't be a chick dick.
That's right.
Don't be a chick dick. So that's the update on Joss Whedon. We're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
I think not much more to say. I just think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the coming weeks and months. Again, I'm wondering if Ray Fisher can't say anything because he's got some papers signed and she's well past her expiration date. Sound good. But anyway, going to wrap it up.
It sounds bad, but yeah.
We're going to wrap it up. We'll see you.
Bye.